and welcome back to Sons of the Forest. This episode I will try to make a short one and just show you how to build in the lake or underwater without sheets. It's a little bit tricky, but it's doable. We're back at my favorite place, the lake that doesn't freeze in winter. And sure you recognize the waterfall, and I've found you have to choose the right location, and right here by the waterfall, by this little rock here with some ferns growing on it, that's a good place to start because it's just the right depth of on the bottom. It's a bit of a trial and error actually. I wouldn't recommend doing this for a first base unless you know exactly what you're doing. So I'm going to be using cheats and log hack because this is my test world, so it doesn't really matter. Right, so you start building a ramp out and see how far you can actually get out. Okay, we already need one of those. Oh, that worked. No, that one might go. Let's see. Sneak down. Can we pull this off? And we could. Good. Right, so we continue as far out as we can. Typically, the water level should be below the horizontal log, right? If it's deeper than that, you're not going to be able to pull this off. See, that's the rock I was talking about, the ferns and the rock. It's sort of to the right side of the waterfall. So we can go quite far out. This is quite shallow. Let's see, can we pull this one off? Yes, we could. Brilliant. Don't think, no, we need to raise that one. And let's see. So ease down, maybe. Sometimes it shows a red arrow, or partly red, because you can't go further. Quite far out. It's always good to kind of get out as much. See, that one is almost red at the top. We might be able to pull it off. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. One more, maybe. Can we pull another one off? Let's see, can we pull this one off? Yes, we can. Well, it was a little bit red. Let's see. Yeah, we'll pull that one off. I think that's actually far enough out. I gotta stop saying all the time. It's annoying. You can extend this a little bit, but it's really not necessary. On the right side of that fern, it's just a little bit too deep, I think. Yep, it's too deep. So you want those to be... Actually, those are just below the water level. It depends a little bit on the bottom. The key is to... Let's see. The key is to have it just the right depth. Instant book build. I'm cheating freely now, so don't worry about it. Now you want something with a floor that you can place on the bottom. So not a tree shelter. And choose, you're going to dismantle it, so choose the one that is the least amount of logs, because you need to complete this and then you need to dismantle it. So here we go, we go out here and we place it somewhere close enough so that we can reach it and just load it up. Okay, it's white, maybe a little bit closer, there we go. So that's going to be like 50 logs, right? Now you can get out here, but all you really want is the floor. So you can toss these away. Of course, if you're building without sheets, you may want to keep these. It's going to be a lot of walking back and forth, but yeah, that's part of the game. You might as well dismantle as much as you want to, but the point is that you can go in and stand on the floor without swimming. That's what you want. And then you kind of sneak around. No. Sneak around and you can place logs starting the grid from here. So of course placing the building is a bit crucial because you know, you extend out from it in a grid like this. And as long as you get a white arrow, you can just continue. and you will spend a lot of time swimming with this. And you lose a lot of logs. Don't worry, you can always pick them up later. I see that was too far out, so you have to. There's a little trick to it. Let's. Are those? Yeah, those are full logs. Oh, I'm still swimming. Okay, you have to sort of jump up onto the platform, right? Sometimes you can't get. Oh, damn it! Can't get far enough out. So you'll just have to work. Sometimes you have to work around, starting from a shallower part. Let's see if I can extend this further. So you kind of get the idea, right? Just the trick is really to place the building so that the water level is no higher than 3 logs up. I don't know if you can see this properly. Let me see if I can. Okay, yeah, I tried to fix around with a little bit with the colors and stuff. But as you can see, actually the leaf there makes a good point. The water level should not be higher than this. So 3 logs at the most, right? It's a little bit hard to judge when you place the building, so a good rule of thumb is that the horizontal logs on the little ramp you build outwards first should be just above the water. If it's below the water or halfway below the water, it's probably too deep for you, and you'll still be swimming despite having a floor of the building to stand on. And you need that floor to stand on. This is really the sort of key to build like this. You need to choose a lake that's sort of flat bottom. Okay? Right, so it's a little bit tricky doing this. You'll be spending a lot of time in the water. But you get the general idea. You keep sneaking out and you need to sort of wave around until, oh, that was too deep. Right. You can't build any further once you're there. Once you can't get that log marker place, the place arrow, you can't build any further, basically. What you can do is try to extend it from somewhere else in shallower water. It's a little bit tricky. Sometimes you just have to try. Oh, I can place one there. No, I don't want that one. You can sneak out and wave around and see if you get the arrow. And if you start swimming, well, then it's too deep. Ah, well, we got the arrow. Brilliant. And we can sort of continue just working ourselves out this way. I think you get the general idea. And then you kind of, you make a row and you work yourself backwards. And if it's too deep for you, you can sort of try to extend it from the other end, because once you have a grid like this to walk on, it's usually a lot easier to go. See, here we go. The other end is probably too deep, so I'll just finish this corner. The other end is too deep, but then you work yourself back again to the deeper part, just placing logs like this. See if we can pull this one off. Yes, we can. And then you go back to the shallower point where you could stand and start placing logs in, so you finish this row of squares, right? And you can just continue and build. This particular lake, I'm going to show the map, is quite good because it's really flat bottom. It's not a lake, it's actually part of the river, so it doesn't freeze. Oh, too deep. Getting back up on the grid is a bit difficult, but sort of swim upwards and jump usually does the trick. Let's get another log. So I think you get this idea really. It's I've actually only found 2 places where I can build like this. In the rivers, I don't want the damn lakes because they freeze in winter, and then sort of defies the point of having water around your base. But it's this place, my favorite, #1 base location, and then it's by the water, just below the waterfalls with all the coffins, right? That was base location 2 in the other video. Okay, so here we go, and Here's a ramp that we built out. You can get quite far out in this one. It's really a matter of trial and error, and kind of swimming and checking out the bottom first. And as you can see, you can extend the grid quite far. This could potentially be a really large base. And like I said, it's just about 3 logs. Actually, that's a little bit more than 3 logs. It shouldn't be much more, because then you can't stand on that floor of that building. And as you can see, I managed to extend this quite far. And since it's so far from the shores, cannibals won't ever come out here. Downside is that at least certainly Kelvin, but he's stupid, and Virginia doesn't recognize this as solid land. So Kelvin just won't go out on this base. He'll go to the closest part, maybe, but that's it. As you can see, you can make a really, really big base, almost covering the entirety of this lake. I think this area could potentially be a good place as well, but it's quite shallow, so you'll probably get more puffies coming out that way. Anyway, I think that's it. We're happy. Hopefully this was useful. And have fun, and do mention in the comments if you find any more places like this where you can build this way. It's a bit tricky, but it's well worth it. Have fun. Have a fun game. Bye bye.